The video game company Valve is notoriously stingy with sequels, but hit multiplayer shooter Counter-Strike Global Offensive is finally getting one. Counter-Strike 2 is set to come out sometime this summer as a free update to the existing game, with a limited player test that started recently. The Steam maker is calling it the largest technical leap forward in Counter-Strike's history. What kind of radical new enhancements and game-changing upgrades will the sequel have? Valve isn't saying. At least not yet. All of the game's new features will be revealed when it officially launches this summer, but the road to Counter-Strike 2 begins now as a limited test for select CSGO players, the company wrote on the game's website. During the testing period, we'll be evaluating a subset of features to shake out any issues before the worldwide release. Still, Valve has revealed a number of more granular improvements that are coming to Counter-Strike 2. They might not wow newcomers, but they will surely be a big deal to hardcore fans who have dumped thousands of hours into this game over the last decade. Some of those upgrades include volumetric smoke grenades, fully overhauled maps, new Source 2 tools for modders, higher resolution models for guns, improved blood splatter, completely reauthored explosions, and more accurate audio. Smoke grenades are the heart and soul of tactical gameplay in CSGO, so it's not entirely surprising that Valve spent a lot of time on the sequel's reveal, talking about how smoke effects will now affect lighting and interact with other elements like bullets. Longtime players will also be happy to know that all existing CSGO skins will transfer to Counter-Strike 2 complete, with more detailed visuals. The original Counter-Strike arrived in 2000 and was born of a Half-Life mod. Despite a few other spin-offs in the series, it was 2012's Counter-Strike Global Offensive that became the de facto CS game moving forward. It's routinely the most played game on Steam, with nearly 1 million concurrent players, despite no major regular seasonal updates like other live service blockbusters. We'll see if Counter-Strike 2 doubles down on what existing fans love, or is able to pull new players in. If you want X-ray vision, you may no longer need to be an actual Superman. It's now possible for your average Joe Blow to see through objects with the right bleeding-edge tech, that is. As detailed in a new paper, researchers at MIT have designed such a device in the form of a modified Microsoft HoloLens headset they're calling XAR. And yes, it does endow the wearer with the ability to see through stuff. Sort of. Fortunately, it doesn't actually send out harmful X-rays. In reality, it beams out radio signals to find items labeled with radio frequency identification tags, otherwise known as RFID tags. These items then pop up as a holographic visual, in theory, allowing a user to locate the items faster. Our whole goal with this project was to build an augmented reality system that allows you to see things that are invisible, things that are in boxes or around corners, said the senior author, an associate professor of electrical engineering and computer science at MIT, in the press release. The intended purpose of XAR is decidedly less dramatic than how X-ray vision is deployed in comics. Basically, the idea is that the warehouse and any retail workers could use the tech to help locate items in a vast inventory. First, a user would look up the item through a floating menu. Then, once selected, its location is highlighted with a sphere with a path of footsteps projected on the ground. During testing, the XAR was able to pinpoint items within around 4 inches, guiding users to the correct item with 96% accuracy. If a bunch of clothes were heaped in a giant pile, the thinking goes it could help a worker easily pick out something specific. The researchers also think XAR could help technicians to pick out the exact tool or parts for the job. In its current inception, the XAR likely doesn't have the range or speed for efficient use, but it could still mark a notable step forward for AR tech. Currently, it only works from about 10 feet away from your object. According to the developer, there isn't anything like this today, though. This paper takes a significant step forward in the future of AR systems by making them work in non-line-of-sight scenarios. The managing director of industry research at Microsoft, who was not involved in the study, said this during a recent interview, adding that it's currently a novel innovation, but we can't help but imagine a bleak future where workers are further demanded higher levels of efficiency through the use of such AR headsets. But then again, there is the flip side, where something like this could save workers a whole heap of time in their day. Ford has finally unveiled the medium-sized electric crossover that it teased last year, and it might not be what you expect. The company has unveiled an electric Explorer that's designed for Europe and is suited to tight city streets. It's relatively compact, under 14.8 feet long versus 16.6 feet for the gas SUV, and offers creature comforts like sporty seats. Notably, it also includes a few technology features you won't even find in higher-end Ford EVs, like the Mustang Mach-E. The 15-inch vertical touchscreen will seem familiar, but it slides up and down. You won't have to settle for an awkward position. You also won't find the physical knob from earlier Ford EVs. The automaker also takes advantage of the electrified design to provide a massive amount of console storage space, enough for a 15-inch laptop and a private locker for your valuables. Wireless phone charging is standard, as is wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The 5 cameras and 3 radar sensors provide Ford's usual range of driver aids, although this is the first time Europeans will have access to features like assisted lane change. Most performance specs aren't yet available, including range. However, Ford claims you can charge from 10 to 80% in a relatively quick 25 minutes. The company is taking reservations for the base Explorer and higher-end Explorer Premium trims right now, ahead of a release later this year. Final pricing will have to wait. Ford expects the line to start below $48,500. Don't expect to launch elsewhere. Unfortunately, Ford tells Engadget there are no plans to bring the Explorer EV to North America, and that the conventional Explorer will still be on sale worldwide.
And you can reserve yours now on the Ford website, with ordering starting later this year and first deliveries early next year.